wooden cutting boards. So for those of you who follow my channel for whatever crazy reason that is, I want to talk to you today about cutting boards, and Barley's here to help me. So cutting boards get grooves cut into them as we're preparing our food, and I've done a little bit of research, and I'm going to link a North Carolina state information below this video so you can investigate further if it's of interest to you. The difference between wooden cutting boards and plastic cutting boards. So exactly right, they were talking about the cuts that happen on the boards trapping bacteria and other bad things, and that the wooden cutting boards were actually safer than plastic because the wood resealed itself. It was washed, and then when it dried, whatever organisms were in there, they died. Versus plastic, where if you didn't thoroughly clean it, it could remain contaminated. So they also recommended, if you use, cutting boards and you have plastic ones and wood ones, use the plastic ones for meat, because then you could actually deeply bleach them. And you should never use a cutting board for meat that you also use for other foods. There should always be a separate meat cutting board and a separate vegetable fruit cutting board. So yeah, so what I'm doing today is, and the cat's probably gonna run away, I'm just using my little orbital sander to clean this up, and then I'm gonna re-oil it, and I'll show you that in the next part. But I can't I can't film this and do it at the same time, so hold on just a second. Okay, so normally I'd be doing this out in the garage, but it's so dang cold out there today, I thought I'd just do it here in the kitchen. Need to clean anyway, so might as well make a mess before I do. So I'm going to keep going on this, and I'm also going to get the edges because they look kind of yucky too. So and then once that's done, I'll be right back and show you what the finish I used to put life and protection back onto the board. So if you end up doing this in the house, you will create a substantial amount of dust. I've got to finish sweeping and vacuum and then do a damp mop. And then I wanted to also mention, I gave a quick pass over the bamboo cutting board as well. Being who I am and using cast iron pans, you probably figured out I do not own a plastic cutting board. So this is a regular maintenance thing for me. I'm going to put a link underneath the video as well that will take you to a place that talks about bamboo cutting boards. They are not as hard as glass, but they are harder than wood. And then that link also gives some information about the different types of wood cutting boards, and that is a consideration depending on what you're doing, because wood, some people are allergic to different kinds of foods, like they mentioned pistachios. And if the board is made out of that, it can also impart that energetic into the food, and that could be an issue for folks. So bamboo is great because it's renewable, but the surface is definitely different than wood. So hold on, and I'll bring you to the next part of doing the seasoning. Okay, so you got a couple of choices for putting a sealant and protectant over the cutting boards. One of them is mineral oil. It is odorless, tasteless, and it is safe for human consumption. For other purposes as well. And the other thing is something that I found years back. It's a beeswax salad bowl finish, and it feels really nice. I use that generally on the bamboo, and I use the mineral oil stuff on the wood cutting boards. And I'll go ahead and get that started, and then I'll show you the next step. And I will include a link for Clapham's Beeswax salad bowl finish, and they have other products as well, and it lasts a really long time. Okay, so this side has not been done yet, and you can probably see there's not really a sheen. And when I flip it over, there's the sheen. It can be used right away, but I usually let it cure for a day before I start using it again, and I can wipe it down with just a regular napkin or something to take off any of the highlight residual stuff that's on here. But this is food safe, so no worries. Okay, so with the mineral oil, it's really messy. So I recommend put down, cut open a paper bag and use that as your surface protector. So here's the side now. One side is coated, and I'm flipping it over, and we'll do the other side here. So this normally, it's going to stay like this all day, and I'll just leave it wrapped up in this paper bag, and later this evening I'll wipe off any of the residual mineral oil, and the cutting board will be good as new and ready to go. Got some big things to make in the next couple of days, so wanted these things to be really clean and good, and basically that's it. I'll finish rubbing this stuff in, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.